Sometimes I get asked this question, maybe you do too, especially by older people. Where do you see yourself in 3, 5, or 10 years? It seems like everyone has a ready-made answer or a plan they can throw out. Some say they'll become a doctor, get rich, become famous. For me, I can't even see beyond the next 12 months. I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but I have no clue what the next few years will bring. Honestly, I'm not sure what I'll do with my life because I don't know what the world will even look like in the future. It's impossible to know what will happen in 5 years. When I hear people planning for the next 10, 20, or 30 years, it reminds me of those old drawings from the early 1900s, showing what people back then thought the future would look like in the 2000s. They imagined we'd have laser beams and flying cars, but instead reality has turned out to be even more surreal. We have access to the entirety of human knowledge on our phones. We can talk to AI for instant answers, yet somehow our biggest issue is people getting too attached to their virtual AI partners. The last 2 years of my life have been sort of planned, but at the same time, not. I had a rough outline of what I wanted to do, like starting a YouTube channel, which I managed to do, but now I'm left wondering, what's next? That's why I find it unrealistic to set long-term plans. I prefer to focus on the short term, like what I need to do today or this week. Instead of making grand plans to impress others, I'd rather work on building habits and character traits. There's a saying, sow a thought, reap an action, sow an action, reap a habit, sow a habit, reap a character, sow a character, reap a destiny. That really resonates with me. I focus on habits that shape who I am and aim to be. 3 key habits have been consistent in my life, and they're not just habits but principles I aspire to live by. First, minimalism. I keep things simple. Second, productivity. I want to be useful whether to someone or to society. I believe that a strong work ethic combined with time will lead to success, and I want to be that guy people want on their team. Regardless of race, gender, or background, everyone respects hard work. Even if someone doesn't succeed, you still respect that they gave it their all. It's like leaving everything on the field or court, or in whatever arena you compete in, whether it's a water polo pool or wherever else. It's about using all your potential and leaving nothing behind. The third is authenticity. I just want to be myself. It sounds simple, but in a world full of influences, staying true to yourself can be tough. Authenticity doesn't mean never changing though. I saw a comment recently from someone saying that my older videos are different from my newer ones, and in my mind I thought, well yeah, it's been a year. A year ago I was a different person. My channel is based on my interests, and as my interests change, so will my content. That's part of being authentic, aligning what I believe, say, and do. If all those things are in harmony, then I'm being true to myself, and I'm okay if not everyone likes that. I'd rather be hated for who I am than loved for pretending to be someone I'm not. As long as I stick to these 3 things and a few other habits, I believe I'll be okay. I'll keep exercising and stay healthy. I'll continue working hard to maintain my productivity, and I'll stay true to myself. Whether people like me or not, I'll be happy with who I am. I see so many videos of people saying, I'm 20 and don't know what to do with my life, or I'm 30 and wasted my 20s. That's fine, but I dislike when those videos come across as soft and overly emotional, making people feel better just because they can relate. My advice is different. It's not about just relating. It's about focusing on who you want to become. That's how you shape your future. One last point. Just because I don't know what my future holds doesn't mean I'm afraid or anxious about it. I think a lot of people have a fear of the unknown, but uncertainty doesn't have to cause anxiety. You can be unsure of the future and still be at peace with it. Instead of trying to figure out exactly what's going to happen, I focus on building myself into the kind of person who can handle whatever comes. At the end of the day, life only makes sense when you look back at it. I watched a famous speech by Steve Jobs where he talked about dropping out of college and randomly taking a calligraphy class. Years later, when he created the first Macintosh, that calligraphy class became useful because the Mac was the first computer to have multiple fonts. Jobs didn't take the class with the intention of using it to build a computer years later. He just followed what felt right at the time. You can only connect the dots looking backward, not forward. So, if you are 18 or a little older or younger and don't know what to do with your life, that's okay. It's like saying you don't have the dots connected yet. You just need to know where those dots are, and for me, those dots are living simply, working hard, and staying authentic. That's how I plan to shape my future. If you're unsure about your future, take action. Write down 3 key principles or habits that define who you are. I believe in you. Now, believe in yourself.